Alright, this is another quick review for the product Reeves Watercolor 24 Artist Colors. There's about, well, there are 24 colors in this watercolor palette. Well, it's not actually a palette, but watercolor, I don't know what to call it. There's just 24 watercolors basically. And you have a slew of watercolors from Chinese white, zinc, lemon yellow, medium yellow, deep yellow, orange, flesh tint, brilliant red, crimson, magenta, rose, I think it says rose madder, violet, cerulean blue hue, cobalt blue hue, phthalo blue, ultramarine, permanent green light, sap green, viridian hue, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, Payne's gray, black ivory. So yeah, let me just go quickly over the pros and cons. Like I said before earlier, there's 24 different colors, so that's the pros. Another pro about it is that they're easy to remove the water. They have been about two other watercolors I've used in the past, and in this type of watercolor that I've been using recently, I found out that it's a lot easier to remove mistakes with water in this watercolor palette. I don't know why, but when you add water into when you add water to a watercolor paint that was on the paper, it gets removed off a lot easier as opposed to the past watercolors that I've been using in the past. And another pro is that there's a lot more pigment. I found out there's a lot more pigment in these watercolors as opposed to the cheap ones I have used, like from Target or Walmart or any convenience store that can sell art supplies. I've found out that there's more pigment, but it's not that much. It's enough that you can tell, but it's not like striking difference to tell that there's more pigment. It's just like you could slightly tell that there's more pigment. So those are the three pros: the 24 different types of colors, a lot more pigment, and it's easy to remove by water. Now the cons, there's not too many cons, but the two cons are there's not enough variations of purple. Like I went through all the types of colors there are, but there's only one different purple. There's only one purple. Like there are different variations of blue and different variations of green and different variations of brown, but there's only one purple. And I thought that was kind of odd to actually only have one type of purple when you have so many different colors of reds and greens and blues. So that's probably one of the cons. And the second con is the fact that some of the variations of each color are too similar when you put them on paper. For example, this green, these two greens, if you put them on the same on paper next to each other, they look too similar. They look the same. They look too similar in the fact that it's pointless to even have two greens if they're going to have like the same color. They pretty much do. And I haven't used all of these colors, but I know that this color and this color is pretty much the same as well. And I felt that it was kind of ridiculous to even have two colors like this if you're going to have similar colors, if it's all going to look the same if you put it on a piece of paper. So that's probably the only con about it.